What's up, world? It's Katrina,
And Marlena, and this is Excess Baggage,
the podcast where two friends in their 30s unpack all of life's baggage. This episode, we'll be unpacking Black celebrity trauma.
Okay, let's start the show.
Hey, girl.
Hello.
Hello. At least it wasn't dry this time.
I know, I tried. I did try.
What's up with you? What's your baggage today?
I don't know. I'm getting tired of people trying me, man. I guess that's my baggage. Like, I'm really getting tired of people trying me professionally, trying me in different ways. Not even just professionally. Yeah, just there's a level of respect that I command, and I know that I do in every room that I am in, yet people still try to try me. And I just, lay it on thick, because you got to know that it's just not, it's not what you want to do. So I guess, I don't know if it's baggage, it's more, I mean, it is baggage. I really am tired of it. I've worked my ass off to get to the point in my life where like little shit that just is unacceptable just should not be happening anymore. It just shouldn't be happening anymore. And I get them all the way right, but it's still just annoying. It's just like that we even have to be here, especially with people that are adults. At the end of the day, that's the biggest thing for me. We're adults. So I would, I always think about it from two ways. Like, first, I mean, race is usually attached to a lot of things in general, sure. But I usually don't try to go there. I just take it as just being a woman, period.
Sure.
Would you speak to your male counterpart that way?
Right.
Would you interrupt them while they're speaking? No, you probably would not do that. Like, right. 9 times out of 10, you would not do that, especially in a business type situation. And then when it comes to,
especially if it was a white man.
Exactly. It's just like, and how does that even look? It's just like, how does it look? Not good. So, stuff like that. And then it's stuff in, personal life too. There's a lot happening in November. A lot of people are doing no November. I don't know if I'm like silently kind of doing it, where it's just like, yeah, I'm just going to start saying no to stuff. No, I don't have the capacity to do this. No, I
didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. So I'm like, maybe I'm kind of doing it and don't even know that I'm doing it. But really, it's just not, it has nothing to do with the month for me. I've just had enough. And with everything that's going on with me personally, I feel like I'm very tender-hearted right now, just because, I lost somebody really close to me. And that's not something that you get over really quickly, Right. It's only been a month, and that's nothing, it's a drop in a barrel. So right. I just feel, if I come off a little more, I don't want to say crass, but just a little more blunt, it's because like I just don't have the capacity for bullshit right now. I just don't. And I don't feel like I need to go through it. Normally I'm cordial. I keep it, cute and everything. But right now it's just like, I don't have it into me to go that extra mile, because it seems like people don't think, and they don't want to go the extra mile. So I'm just going to have to let you know now. So that's
Good
where I am.
Good for you.
So, Katrina, what is your baggage today?
What isn't my baggage today? That's the real question. I feel like it has been a wild, I want to say 2 weeks, but maybe not. Maybe longer than that, maybe closer to a month. I have no idea. Like, I'm really lost on time. I don't know what day it is half the time, let alone the dates and what's going on. I'm tired. physically, mentally, emotionally, maybe even spiritually. I don't know. But I'm tired. And then of course that's exacerbated by the fact that like I'm running off of 4 hours of sleep today. So that makes me even more physically tired, but work has been hectic, taking on new clients, one of my contracts closing, trying to pick up this other contract. So that's been hectic. And then it just wears on you. Like also stuff with my health is still going on, still trying to figure some stuff out with that. So my eating has been funny because I'm still eliminating things and testing things out and seeing what I'm reacting to and trying to convince these damn doctors to just run an allergy test because clearly I'm having a reaction to something. And I think all of that just starts to wear on you mentally and emotionally because it becomes like just exhausting to continue to fight with doctors or be worried about what's happening with my business and money and all of that kind of stuff. So I think I'm just in that place. I think in the last couple of days, it's really hit me and I'm just like, all right, your girl is tired. Like, I'm tired. So yeah, I feel like everything is my baggage lately. I need a break. That's where I'm at. I need a break. I need some time away. I need to breathe. I need to rest, all of those things. So I will be taking the whole week of Thanksgiving off.
Nice.
Whatever that means when you own a business and are people's bosses, but I will not be seeing clients at the very least. So I'm hoping that I can rest then, and I'm taking a quick little weekend getaway. It's for an event though, so that might be kind of hectic and less restful, but I have some things lined up, but it's like I'm just trying to get there at this point, and a week and a half can't come soon enough. I'm tired.
Yeah, I feel that. I think I'm more, if I could say if I'm tired, I would say I would be more emotionally tired.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like a big push and, you know, push and pull, push and pull and pull. You know,
Yeah.
it's like back and forth, back and forth. You know, me feeling like, okay, am I going down the right path? Am I, you know, is this my purpose? What is my purpose? You know, it's like I'm constantly on myself about things.
Mm.
And then on top of that, with, you know, the other stuff that's going on and, you know, grief and other things that are happening at the same time, I would say like it's just like a soul thing where you just feel like, oh, like I don't know,
Like deeply soul, spirit, heart exhaustion.
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel that. It probably also, if you know, we think about all of the things happening in our environment, this weather probably doesn't help. We're moving, it's fall, but we're moving into more like fall winter weather, even here in LA. And so I think people are our bodies are wanting to slow down. People are starting to slow down. And then we just dealing with shit. It seems like everybody got shit going on right now. Like there's just so much shit happening.
It is. It's popping.
It really is. It's like if it ain't
not
me,
for the
it's
good
somebody
reasons.
else. If it ain't somebody else, it's they extended family. Like, yeah, it's been a wild time.
It has. I mean, I still think we living in some type of matrix since 2020. I feel like 2019 was like the last normal year, and now these last couple years, it's like
there's a whole shit show.
It's been a whole shit show.
A whole shit show. I just saw today or yesterday, I don't even remember. Orange County declared a state of emergency.
Why?
Because apparently kids are going to the emergency room with respiratory infections and respiratory viruses at like astonishing rates right now. And I'm like, again, we're gonna do this again. something else. We done had COVID and all of its many variants. The monkeypox. There was a hornet thing at one point. I don't even know what happened with that. Like, yeah, we just declared a state of emergency for some respiratory thing that is primarily impacting kids in this moment, but who knows where that'll go.
Great.
Right. And here we are moving into flu season.
Well, you know, Orange County, I don't know what they be doing over there. I know they don't be having no clothes on.
Or masks.
That too. But they really don't be having no mask and no clothes. Like, when I tell you, I've seen so many people just walking down the street, like flip-flops, shorts. And you know, like a lot of Orange County is near the beach.
Yeah.
And so you feel that breeze, and I'm looking over like, I know I'm freezing. So I don't know what y'all doing out here. What are y'all doing out here with
whatever
just
the hell they want?
One little sweatshirt on? That's like, that's my fashion. This is what I'm wearing.
Whatever the hell they want.
It's
but
true.
their kids is out there. Well, it's not just their kids, but they are the first to declare.
Man, their kids is out there. They out here. No,
but apparently it's happening all across the country. It's just that, you know, Cali is the first to declare the state of emergency that I've seen anyways. So, you know, here we are.
Another day and more trauma.
That is a really good leeway to our topic for the day.
Yes, we're talking about Black celebrity trauma. And, you know,
because, child.
Like, y'all going through it, man. Like, I'm just going to preface this with saying, like, damn, like, I don't know. Is it fame? Is it the business? Is it the money? Is it I don't know what goes on because I'm not famous. But I'm going to tell you right now, if I did come into some money, lo and behold, you would hear from me. You know, like I would come, you know, okay, here, I'll give you a little leg. I'll give you a little, okay.
A little
leg here. Okay, I'm here. I showed up for the event. And then I'm going on about my business. Like, I just, you know, I don't know. But, you know, there's a lot going on. And, you know, it's a part of our culture, you know, and, you know, entertainment and, you know, it sucks that entertainment is like the forefront of our culture, but it is. I mean, we entertain the world. And, yeah, I don't know what's going on, y'all. I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm gonna pray for all parties involved, because it seems like there needs some serious prayer our hands need to be held and laid upon some people so they can just snap out of it. I don't know what's going on. And only some higher power bigger than us, I feel, can rectify or any way remotely help the situation, because shit's going down.
Yeah, it is a lot going on. So what are we talking about? In the last month, again, my timeline is off. So recently we done got, well, we didn't get anybody anything. Kanye is doing the Kanye thing and is being canceled all over the place. Takeoff just was murdered. Those are the things I know about.
Yeah, I mean, those are the two, like,
those are the biggest ones that
those are the biggest ones. And then I'll tell you one more. And this one is even more like, you're like, what? I don't know if people even know who these people are. You might not. They're kind of like, one is a rapper. One of them is like kind of like, I guess, a reality show person. And they have a show together. And all are some type of something together and they're in this very toxic relationship and it is being played out publicly. Okay. She has been beat up. There's been pictures of her. There's been pictures of them out. This is the couple's name is, the girl's name is Krishan and the guy's name is Blueface. They've been out and about fighting. The shit's on all over social media. I'm pretty sure there, you know, it's a lot of, when I say trauma, I mean, it's a lot of alcohol and drugs, I believe, that are involved, because there's no way in hell, like, even if you on this bad girls club tip and you're this or whatever, like, I'm not going to be made to look like a clown in public or anywhere for that matter. Like,
but
you know,
I don't know that everybody sees it like that.
Yeah, I'm not tussling with my dude and staying with him, you know, and I know people stay. I'm not saying that they, but in the public eye, like literally, she's been like, there's pictures of her bruised and bloodied, and like we're just like, oh, what's happening next? Like, what else happened? Like, as if this is a part of the show, and I just don't know how that, like, that's severe. Toxic abuse is happening in the public eye and nobody's doing anything about it. They're not doing anything about it.
Right.
And I feel like, okay.
And we was over here watching it.
Yeah.
I think, okay. Yes, all of these things are wild and bad and all of that, but the amount of watching that's happening is so strange to me. I mean, it's interesting and not in a good way. Like, I'm just very curious, like, what possesses you to want to watch this shit? Like, we were talking off the air about literally the video that was being posted all over the place after Takeoff was murdered. Like, what are y'all doing? And why is that normal in our communities? I mean, you know, it's the internet, so it's not just our community, but why is that normal? Like, why is that something that we are, why are we sitting back waiting for the next time this girl get beat up? Like, why is that?
I don't know. This is what I'm saying.
How did we get here?
I don't know. Look, I never was a fan of reality television for the simple fact that I knew, first of all, it's staged. And if it's staged, meaning they put these people in positions, like sometimes it is complete, like I know there's some like storylines that are just completely fake, okay, but then there's other ways of them just literally putting these people in these situations, and those are their real true reactions, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
letting things just play out.
Exactly. And it is always turned to disrespect or some form of violence. And for me, I don't know I don't know if it's just Black people, but like it's America's like obsession with violence. I really believe it's like we can't help but to look at the fire. You know what I mean? And so I just don't know, how do you correct it, because there's so much part of the culture that people really love this. Like they love it. They follow it. Like, I follow, like, you know, the little like shade room and stuff like that. So I see stuff pop off, but I'm like, I've never seen a single episode of anything. I've never like went to go look for said things, right? It's always come to me, and I'm just curious.
I could never follow World Star because of the amount of
fights
that were going. Like, I can't even do that. Like, I just don't understand the fascination with watching this shit. Like, that makes no sense to me. I don't know what it is, and I don't I don't even have words. But obviously, as a human being, as a Black person, but also like as a therapist, it makes me wonder, like, are y'all are not okay. It's not even a question. Y'all are not okay, period. No question mark, because this is not healthy to watch. It's not healthy to continuously be witnessing and be a part of and engage in, and then the conversations that are happening, like, people are really invested in this. there are internet theories or theorists about what's happening.
Girl, the theorists are crazy. I be reading that shit because it's just I don't even want to say that it's comedy, but it's definitely I'm fascinated by people's point of view. Like I'm really fascinated because I know where I stand. Right? I know where I stand. But some of these theories, I'm just like, who told you that? Like, not even who told you this, but I know it's a lot of like, they always say like, oh, there's groupthink and, one person, blah, 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 and everyone jumps on the bandwagon. I'm like, yeah, but like some of the shit that they say is just so bizarre that I don't know what part of sense, like what part of sense did you get? Like, like, is it there or is it me? You know what I mean? Is it there or is it me? Is it not there and it's me? Like, I don't know.
Listen,
I don't know which
honest.
one it is.
I'm gonna be honest. I read some of the theories and I'm like, you know what? That was logical. Like how you got from A to Z made complete sense. And that's the part to me that fucks me up. Cause I'm like, you really thought this through. You really thought this through.
Yes.
Is it logical in the sense that like you have all of the information and you're able to actually prove this? Not necessarily, but you thought this through enough to like go from A to Z. Like you really went the whole alphabet. You made sense of it. You took us every step of the way and it made sense. Not all of the theorists do all of that, but some of y'all be really working it. And I'd be like, you know what? I can't even argue with you because I don't have any evidence against that. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like I'm watching it just like you watching it, but you made that make sense. I just don't understand how you got that much time on your hands. I literally don't have time to be thinking that much into any of this shit. I don't care what the fuck is going on with Kanye. Like I don't oh.
I don't know. It's just, for me, for Kanye, I think it's because I have been a fan of Kanye's for, since he came out. It was a big thing.
Right.
College Dropout and that whole thing. And like, oh, this guy like seems like he gets it. He gets it. He's speaking up for us. He seems like
a whole different Kanye.
I know. And then fast forward to like, I don't know, 15 years later, maybe a little longer. And he has just completely just gone off the rails. And I
that sigh.
It's just every time I see something else, I'm just like, who is in his corner? Can someone please just take his phone or get him, like just, I don't know, distract him, make him take care of his kids. I don't know,
Make him take care of himself.
Of course himself, but like
because
give him a project. His project should be him and his kids. Okay? That's what the project should be.
But also theorists out there, can y'all stop blaming this on his mama? Like, yes, we know that grief is a thing. We know it is hard. We know his mama died and that really hurt him and all the things. But do not blame this Black woman for the way in which this man is showing up in this world. This is not just grief, right? There might be grief compounding whatever is going on. But Kanye, regardless of his mama dying, has some shit he needs to figure out in regards to how he feel about Jewish people, Black folks, Black history. Like that is
the
mama
man
aside.
The man said that he don't read. Okay, he literally said he don't read. But then he's trying to tell us that we should listen to us listen to him because he has more money. That's the way he talks to people. Oh yeah, well, have you made $1 billion? No? Okay, so then you need to listen to me. And it's like, okay, so you designed some homeless chic and made some people believe that this was the hot shit based off of your career where you were making hot beats for the hottest artists. And so you gathered a clan of people, right? And a clan of people, and they're going to support you no matter what. That's literally what's happening right now. Like all these theorists and, this is all part of a bigger plan. Yeah, Kanye, he's big, he's bigger than us. He's bigger than us. He has the master plan. That motherfucker didn't think nothing out. Ain't no way he thought it out.
And he ain't thinking about y'all.
No, not at all. He does not have our best interests at heart. He has been showing us this, at least for the last 5 years. I don't know if you've been living under a rock or not, but just the shit.
I don't know. Since Hurricane Katrina,
Yeah, I feel like after that, like it literally happened after that. Like, I don't know. It just became, I don't know. And he, he's recently been saying like, I was drugged the fuck out or whatever so people could make me manageable or whatever. So I couldn't stand on my truth. And, that's why, basically saying that's why he's been quiet all these years. And I'm like, oh, Lord, boy. And I've been done with him. I was done with him after the slavery was a choice thing. That really just, really burned me up. Like that to me, it's like, okay, we've witnessed him be spazzy and say shit. And, George Bush doesn't care about black people. Or, I'm going to say this, I'm going to be ironic. Or look at this, I'm a genius. He's been saying shit for a while now. But
and he's not always wrong.
He's not always wrong.
Some of this shit, like,
look, even
at
if
some point you gotta take care of yourself.
Exactly. And even if he means well in some metaphorical bullshit way, even if he means well, he needs to take care of himself because, dog, you are literally killing your own legacy. We're watching him kill his own legacy and he doesn't even recognize it.
Yeah, that's fact.
He doesn't even recognize it. He's just, God, I have no fear. God has me, and it's just like,
sir, you are not okay. And that's okay. We'll get you some help.
And there's literal people in the background though, Katrina, that are like, as he's saying crazy shit, are like, yeah, like they're pumping him up. Like he has hype men around him. Like it's strange. That's
of course. The madness always will.
The
madness always will. And I don't know who
no, that's a good point.
Where that's coming from, but people are always gonna pump you up. People are always gonna pump you up, whether you doing right, whether you doing somebody gonna be pumping you up when you got money, when you give them something that they want. When they can be a yes man to you, they're gonna pump you up. Absolutely. That don't make it right.
No.
That don't make what you're doing okay.
No, it don't.
That don't mean it's healthy.
It's not.
You shouldn't be paying attention to these niggas. But
no, you should not, sir. Sir, like that's not what's happening. Like
just because you think you're right. We see that. Let's be real. We see that with Trump. Like
that's literally what's happening. He's turning himself into a black Trump. And he wants to take the same formula that Trump was able to like win these people over to make them think that, he's got their best interest and he's going to take care of them. What did he do when he got in office? The first thing he did is try to
take care
of himself and rich people. Okay. And corporations. That's who he was trying to take care of. Not the little people, the people that he was supposedly going to bring back cold jobs, knowing that shit would kill them. He don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck about you. He don't. No. And neither does Ye. Neither does Ye.
Yeah. And I don't want this to turn into an episode of just tearing down all of these black folks. I really, truly want them and the folks witnessing and watching them. I really want y'all to get some help. Like, I really want y'all to recognize that this is not healthy.
For real.
This is not okay. This should not be the culture that we indulge in. This is not okay. And all the theories aside, because to some degree that ain't even none of your business if that is like, but all the theories aside, like, are you taking care of you watching these folks in these situations not taking care of themselves, struggling in whatever ways that they are struggling, being harmed in all the ways that they are being harmed, causing harm in the ways that they are causing harm, and you just sitting back and watching it. Are you taking care of you though?
I just feel, I don't know. I think everybody's using everybody. So no, they're not. Everybody's using everybody to numb some type of pain. Yeah. Period. That's literally what's going on. Because, if we, for him to even fix his mouth to say, for Ye to even fix his mouth to say, I now know what it feels like to have a knee on my neck because it's been made public, in the public eye for me saying one comment about the Jews.
That's not the same thing.
Wait, because I said one comment about the Jews, and now I'm being made public to not be a billionaire anymore. So now I know, thank you, God, for humbling me and, making me know now what it feels like to have a knee on my neck. Sir, you did not
the same thing.
Lose your life. But
and ain't nobody's actual knee on your neck.
Nobody held no gun to your head to tell you to say the things that you were saying. You need to be able to take responsibility and shut all the way up on that shit. Like, that's your apology to the Black community? Oh, I hurt my people by saying this, but I now know what it feels to have a knee on it. Like, I'm laughing because it's just so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous.
But also, like, you hurt your people by saying what exactly? Because all of a sudden you're being canceled because you said some shit about Jewish people. You've been saying shit about Black folks for a minute.
And we still rode with you.
Some of us.
Some of us. I was done. I would tell you the one.
Still write it, but the wild part. Well, I guess it's not that wild because it's America. But
I was secretly hoping for him.
Still
exactly. That's what I mean. He was not getting canceled for that shit. No. But I feel like this. I wasn't riding with him no more. I was still hopeful for him though. Like I'm like I don't want. I was still like, okay, I hope he gets it together. You know what I mean? Because it's like, no. I do care. Like, I do care about Kanye. Like, there is some love there, of course. You don't just, that doesn't go away, especially when some of his shit is attached to some of your memories, right? It just doesn't go away. But at the same time, it's like, I can choose not to fuck with him. I could choose not to purchase none of his shit. Like, I would never buy none of that shit. Like, that shit that he was pumping out, I'm sorry. Every time I see people walking down the street with them ugly ass shoes, I just keep saying, how did we again, it goes back to how do we get here?
Yeah.
Like, I guess they're supposed to look like spaceships, or I don't know what they're supposed to look like. All I know is this. He needs to just go on and just sit it on down somewhere, woosah a bit, recalibrate, regroup, and then figure it the fuck out. But I don't have to support. I don't have to support. And that's okay. And those same theorists and those people are like shaming other people for not riding with them. And I'm like, no, like no one's telling you not to ride with them. You do whatever you see fit. But that does not mean that he just gets automatic support because he's Black. Like,
no.
Nah.
You don't get to be harmful and still get support. That's not how this works. And if more of us made the conscious choice to intentionally not watch these things, not share these stories, not be engaged in this, then maybe it would stop getting so much camera time and these people could hopefully take some time to actually take care of themselves. But like, we glorify it so much, it makes me wonder how much of this is continuing to go on, how much we are perpetuating it because it's just continuing to be glorified. We literally look at it as entertainment. Like, we have real life reality TV happening in front of us and we just eating it up at the detriment of everybody involved. Ourselves, the people that we are witnessing, causing and being harmed.
For sure. Because if you're talking about, like we said, I can fathom, like, if we, jump off of Yay and just talk about what happened this week. I could not fathom being in a group of people or next to a crowd of people, and someone dies in front of me, and I think about, I'm gonna record it, post it anywhere, or even touch my phone. You know what I mean? Just the fact that like someone just lost their life in front of me,
and that's your first reaction.
and that's your first reaction is sick. It's really sick. And
I mean, but that's the same shit that went on when Nipsey died. We live in a really strange time.
Yeah. And I just don't know how it's going to get better, because I feel like with us, we're in our 30s. So I feel it's a little different for us. Like, we can disassociate, we're not like on it. Like, it's like, I know stuff because like I know pop culture, period, right. But it doesn't mean that it's like all consuming. Like, I have a fucking job, I have shit to do. Like, this is not my thing. Maybe it's, part of almost like how I was when I was younger and would read like little magazines, and, I would have like, my Tiger Heat or my whatever, and I would go and like, oh, well, such and such was spotted here. And, it's just fun, I guess. But it's just like when people are dying, there's all this other shit going on. There's people that are literally creating their own demise in front of our eyes, and no one's doing anything to help. It's just like, I don't know how to respond. I don't know how to respond at all.
To some degree, I feel like I don't know if it is for us to respond to. Like, there is, yes, obviously some of this stuff is just things that need to be addressed. But some of it is also people's private lives
should not be public.
Yeah. Like, you wouldn't know what the fuck Kanye said if Kanye wasn't Kanye.
Exactly.
And you wouldn't have anything to say about it. You wouldn't know that this man was murdered somewhere. You wouldn't know that this woman is getting her ass beat. Like, you wouldn't know any of this stuff is going on if they weren't who they are. And
it's true.
Is it even for us to respond to? It's being put out in all of our entertainment forms, social media, the news, all of that kind of stuff. But that does not mean that we have to engage and respond. Like, I don't know if that's for us.
I don't know if it's necessarily respond, but I do have some level of concern.
Oh, absolutely.
I would say that. I don't know if it's necessarily, I don't need to like stand on like, we need to, I don't know if it's respond. I definitely posted Yay, and I did write like, I pray for the brother. Hope he gets it together, because, and that I'm done, because I have been such a Yay advocate. And I feel like that needed to be said, because it's like, nah, like, this shit is trash. And like, I know that like all these years I've been riding with him, and, not even necessarily fashion now, but just like back then, fashion of when he came out, and like, all the things that he was attached to.
Right.
And, some of the work that I have either contributed to in some form or fashion has influences from Yay. So it's like, I felt like, okay, no, like this is just a fucking dumpster fire. And I pray for everybody involved. It's very out of pocket. So I felt like I had to say something. But because I guess the level of concern really is like the next generation, and how some of them really are putting this said person on some type of pedestal, and blindly following. I think that, to me, that is the concern, because I'm like, these people are technically going to be taking care of me when I'm old, right? Like, these people are going to have the next, changing of guard, and I'm like, what's going on in the community? What's going on in the culture? Like, a lot of people have some strange opinions, and I just don't know, like, Am I on the outside? Like, is this a signal of me getting older? I don't know what's happening. It just, a lot of this shit is just so strange.
I think we just live in a really strange time. And I think as folks in that, like, what do they call us? Geriatric millennial age group.
I know. Ain't that some shit?
I think our geriatrics are showing.
That's some shit. Ain't that some shit? How dare they? They're like, you were born in the 1900s. You were born in the 1900s. Excuse me? How dare you?
We just come from a little bit of a different era, for sure. And I think a lot of what's going on today is a product of generations of trauma being passed down, but also all of the entertainment and the outlets and the industry stuff that has continued to go on. And so I don't know that we will ever understand it. And I'm okay with that.
I just miss back in the day. Like, I miss the, like, okay, I would say the most toxic drama fed stuff we saw were tabloids, but we also know a lot of the tabloid shit was fake, right? We knew that because some of the stories would be so bizarre,
right?
You know, like you're like, such and such does, you know, it would always be like the strangest headlines. And I feel like now that people have these phones and basically can create their own show, you know, their own, like, follow me, follow my brand, this is what I'm about. Like, I think that whole thing, we were lucky enough to live where we literally didn't have no phones.
We just lived.
We just lived, you know, and if you were at home, you were at home. And if you weren't, no one knew where the fuck you was at. They didn't know where you were at, just the people you were with.
Yeah.
You know, so I think we're just out of touch with reality and actually dealing with the real reality. And I can't imagine what that's like for Black celebrities, because I feel like not only are they not living their reality, they also have to kind of find the balance of either selling their souls so they can make it, you know, to a lot of these, you know, I know Kanye's talking about the Jews, but wouldn't even say Jewish people, which to me, it's like so crazy because, first of all, I don't feel like a lot of people have even met real Jewish people. Like, I really don't. I mean, the population of Jewish people is like like 0.12 or something crazy, some low ass number. And for obvious reasons, you know, like for obvious reasons, that we won't go into, but just straight up history, there's a reason for that. But it's just a whitewashed world in that celebrity thing, because they are people are backers and they have all these funds and these brand deals and all these different things and these contracts that they're signing their souls over. And so not only are they doing that, but they have to stay relevant. And I just feel like our celebrities in our time, and maybe it is our geriatric showing, I don't know, but in our time, they were just talented.
Right.
Their talent is what carried them. Yeah, maybe you might have
nowadays you ain't even gotta have no real talent.
Like zero talent. And you can be filthy rich and people will follow you and buy your
just gotta
products.
be cute on the gram.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's kind of, I think it's taking a real toll on this next generation's souls, because they're thinking like, well, shit, I don't have to do no real work. I could just, I'm not saying that these people don't work, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I could just be popping and have a following, and yeah, I want to do that. Like, why would I want to, you know, get a real gig or, you know, do anything that isn't attached to this when the reward for doing that is so high.
Right.
And I think there's just some strange, it's an imbalance, of course, because it's like, the reason why I say like these celebrities, really, it's hard for us to like, it's hard for me to like, yeah, I read it and it's fun and, you know, I like certain things or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, I don't take any of this shit seriously, because it's like, I don't see they tax returns and what they're doing with said wealth.
Right.
You know, we still struggling out here.
Hmm.
So like,
tell that to Jay-Z.
Right. So I don't know. I don't know. The community's suffering. They're suffering, and that drug of fame is what's killing them. It's really killing them. You know, even to hear a rapper say, "Oh, they don't want rappers to live. They don't want rappers to live." I'm like, I don't know if it's necessarily they don't want rappers to live. I think it's poverty. I think it's the constant fight. It's the real live set tripping that we've all been doing since we've been brought to this country. I don't think it has anything to do with specific like rappers, you know? But if you own that gangster shit, like gangster shit happen. It does happen.
Right.
It does happen, you know? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's to blame? I guess if if people, like you said, if they're glorifying it, but I don't think it's necessarily like, oh, I heard them popping off about this in a song, so now I need to kill somebody. Like I
don't think it's necessarily that, but I do think to some degree you've created and glorified a culture, making it look cool, making it look like something somebody wants to do, and I think that's larger than so and so said that in his song, and so I want to harm so and so. I think it's larger than that. It's been a culture of that for decades at this point. And what is the impact of that, especially in our community where we are more likely to not have additional influences that are more positive. And we're likely to see more of that in action and have it be glorified and think that is something that we want to get involved with. But
true, but I also just don't want it. I think it's like we've been saying, it's a layer of, it has to be a layer of things, because
it's not just one thing.
Yeah, and we can't, I'm just so tired of hearing the same thing about black on black crime, and it's just like
white people kill white people every day.
I think that's probably majority of who they kill, because it's
majority of who they
numbers. It's a numbers game at the end of the day, and I just don't want it to seem like it's like, oh well, we can't have nothing nice. You know, I was watching something. I'm a big Chris Rock fan, but I remember his old stand up, and he was talking about like, it's a culture world. It's a war out here. It's a war out here. You know, it's like black people versus niggas, you know, and, you know, I love black people, but I hate niggas. And it's just like, I get like what he was trying to say. And I know he's a comedian, so it's supposed to be like that. But at the same time, I'm just like, no, I love all my people, because there are sections of us that are really severely struggling. Yeah. But I also get like, I don't want to have to worry about my safety either in said situations. Right. So there has to be some type of boundary or something created where it's just like, yeah, I will, matriculate or, make sure that my dollar goes into said neighborhood because I know this neighborhood needs it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be there like, after a certain time.
Right.
It's like, I want to help. I really don't know what the solution is. I know it's like a lot of these people that we're talking about, it's like those neighborhoods need help. They need help. And while, we volunteer, we do stuff, we help raise money, we put funds here, we do this different things. It's like, okay, when is there going to be change? Like, when is that actually going to happen? And I know people they get frustrated. They get frustrated because it seems like the same thing. It's like this big giant circle that we're going in.
And we are, but I mean, a lot of that is systemic. It's not necessarily just us. Like, we don't necessarily create that. We might perpetuate it in certain ways because we are not getting out of our own ways, or we are not taking the time and spending the energy to heal all of the ways in which we've been impacted by systemic issues. But a lot of that is systemic. Like, we didn't come to this place on our own. we don't live in communities that have more violence because that's what we just chose in life. Like, these things were created and continue to be a factor in our world. And so to some degree, a lot of it is like just generational trauma that we have to really work really hard at healing. And to some degree, no matter how hard you work on healing it, there's still going to be the other impact because it's still happening. So I think a lot of this, and like many other things in the world, comes down to our experiences of white supremacy and how that has continued to, you know, just, I don't even know the word, like how that has continued to spread like disease through our communities and continuously is doing so. And it's impacting us, it is infecting us, it is causing so many problems that it is to the point where I think a lot of people don't see that aspect of it. They're just seeing the symptom. They're seeing Black folks dying. They're seeing, you know, people being violent. They're seeing whatever. They're seeing our community members in these spaces, but they're not recognizing the underlying problem, which is the problem for so many of us in so many different situations, especially here in America: white supremacy. And we get tired of saying it, but you know.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm so done with it because I don't know. I'm so done with it. Not only because everything we are or everything that we touch is the definition of cool. It is the definition of culture. It's the definition of what many of these people wish that they had, you know? And I feel like we took that too cool, like that cool mentality, and we just wiped it all over our shit. So all of our shit, instead of dealing with it or finding ways to combat it or, you know, sticking together like the Jewish people, you know, but I understand why they stick together, that, you know, the way that they do. I do. I get that, you know, and I wish, you know, there's qualities in every culture that I wish that our culture could take on, and that it wasn't just about being cool, you know, and being fresh and being, the best, you know, and that pressure of, you know, I think a lot of us are really trying to kind of knock that, because we've been talking about that all throughout, even having a podcast about people pleasing and, you know, being, you know, expected to go above and beyond just for you to get the normal shit that people get without even blinking.
Right.
You know, so
white people.
Right. I just wish that we didn't have to have so many, you know, with this shit, with the trauma in our communities, with the celebrity shit that we see every day, with with social media, with our phones, with all these different things. I'm just so sick of like this all these different coping mechanisms that we've taken on, and we're trying to shift to make it as if it's normal, and it's not.
Yeah. I think that is a much larger conversation that we don't have time for today, but yes, I hear you. Y'all take care of yourselves. That's all I got to say.
For real.
It's wild out here.
It is. Well, I'm gonna keep going. What else is there to do?
Sending positive vibes, healing, and all the things to our Black celebrities that are struggling, because there's a lot on your plate, and I can't even imagine. And I hope that you get the care and healing that you need.
Yeah. Take some of those funds and, you know, use it wisely.
Right. All right, folks. This next segment is called Roses. Marlena, who do you want to give your rose to today?
Well, I'm gonna give my rose to one of my close friends, Karini. You know, as I mentioned in the last episode, we lost one of our friends, David, and I know that David and Karini were really close. I know that we all were close. But I know I know that she lost her best friend. And this last couple weeks, we've really been holding each other down and checking in and being good to each other. And not that we aren't already, but it's just like a tender moment.
Time,
it's a tender moment. It's a tender time. And I appreciate that. And, we, went to Florida to bury him. And she, we had a moment. We didn't even sit next to each other during the service because I had rode with someone else. And but as soon as we saw each other and embraced, it was just like we were waiting, almost like we were waiting to have that moment together, because we both kind of know what, how the other one feels.
Yeah.
So to have that connection with someone, even if it is, in a sad time, I appreciate that. And I appreciate that we're both able to be real with one another enough to even be vulnerable, to say, how we're feeling and what's going on. And even when it doesn't feel comfortable. So,
right.
Shout out to her. I love her so much. And I know she loves me. I know the feeling is mutual, and that's a good thing to have a feeling about your friend that and not just her, obviously, but it's just that particular connection right now has just been really obvious. It's been really in my face. And, David brought us together. So I feel that now that he's gone, we'll never not be in each other's lives. We already weren't going to be in it, but I feel like this has solidified it even more, that it's just like, wow, this beautiful human that we just lost brought us together. And now our friendship is going to blossom and hopefully go on, for our, as long as our lives are, or as long as we're here. So, shout out to her.
Yeah. I'm glad that you have that connection, especially during this time, because I know this has been really hard for you. So
yeah,
shout out to her.
I really haven't been talking about it. Not talk I really haven't been talking about it because it, to me, is just it's such a fresh wound, So I feel like even if I don't have to say specifically to her what's going on or how I'm feeling, I still feel that connection. So,
yeah, sometimes it's easier when you have someone who is in that experience with you, so then you don't have to explain the experience. Yeah,
definitely. So, Katrina, who are you giving your rose to?
Well, in light of our conversation today, I'm gonna give my rose to the old Kanye.
Not the old Kanye.
The old Kanye. Because I just want to honor the man, the artist, whatever you want to call him, because people call him all kinds of things. Honor the person who many of us loved, who many of us enjoyed, who many of us really felt when he first came out and started sharing his music and all of that. And so, just wanting to acknowledge him, not to say that new Kanye don't deserve roses too, but I think for different reasons. I honor and respect him as a human being, and I hope that he gets his life together and hope that he becomes well. And just shout out to the old Kanye. Like, when you said that you used to be like heavy Kanye fan, like I remember when Kanye came out. Like I remember the feeling of like hearing his music, and I mean everybody was in it. So just, you know, shout out to old Kanye, to the old Kanye era. Shout out to all of that, like sending roses to that, because there was something really special, regardless of where Kanye is in his life right now, regardless of where he's going and what's happening and all of that kind of stuff.
A complete shit show.
Honestly, like, I don't know that people are still receiving that to this day, because he is doing a lot of unraveling, but he did something really special for our community during the time when he first came out. And so I think that still deserves to be honored. It sucks that it's being unraveled in such a way in this moment, and that he is causing so much hurt and pain, and old Kanye did something for us. And just hearing you say that, like, just brought me so many memories, and thinking about his music and places where I was when I was listening to certain songs, and like that just, it was a good memory to have. And so I just want to highlight that and give some roses to old Kanye and the way in which he uplifted the community at the time, because it was something. It was special.
It was special. And you know what? I will go on record saying that I will give the new Kanye roses one day when he stops affiliating with Candace Owen and checks into some form of rehab.
Okay. Y'all heard it here first.
That is when I will give the new Kanye roses.
We shall see.
And we'll see if that ever plays out.
Right.
I'm praying for that man. He's a black man. I hope he, you know.
We want to see you win, Kanye.
We want to see him win.
This ain't it.
It definitely is not it. And, you know, I'm sending light and prayers out to everybody, especially Takeoff's family and people that were close to him. Absolutely. You did not deserve to lose your life over God knows whatever. Whoever knows, whatever it is. It just was, it's unacceptable. So, you know, praying for everybody involved, and sending everybody healing energy. You know, call your friends and check on them. I think we say this probably almost every
couple
week.
Episodes, right?
Yeah, right. Every other week we probably say this, but seriously, call your people and check on them, because everybody is going through something in their own way. And the only way we can, you know, try to help some of this is at least say that we were there, we reached out, you know, and we allowed someone the space to identify what's really bothering them. Yeah. What's really going on with them, and keeping it real could never go wrong when you express your emotions and your pain and things that maybe you wouldn't share with somebody, but you know, you gave them that platform. And he clearly is using that you know, people are using these platforms for all kinds of things, but let's try to do it for something positive, people. Something. If y'all could see Katrina's facial expression right now, it's so funny.
Y'all take care of yourselves. That's all I got to say. I'm going to just keep coming back to that, because, like, your girl's tired. I'm tired.
Peace up, A-Town down.
Well, that was another episode of Excess Baggage.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Excess Baggage Pod. That's Excess Baggage POD. And check us out on TikTok at Excess Baggage Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and review on the podcast app and Spotify.
And remember to pack light and keep it tight.
For sure.